Hey everybody, welcome back to BJ and Patrick's podcast talking about what's going on in the world of real estate, especially here on Vancouver Island. Patrick and I were just talking about different questions that we get, and we thought this would be great to put back to everybody else, that you get an opportunity to hear how we would answer those questions.
So many people ask me, especially when they're getting started, either selling a house or looking to buy a house, or what is the process moving up from this house to the next one? What is a bully offer? Now, we all think we know what a bully offer is and what it kind of means because we see the headlines, we see it on the news. But okay, so BJ, how would you explain that to a potential client?
Yeah, first of all, we're not seeing a whole lot of bully offers right now because in order to have a bully offer, you have to have a date where the seller is looking at offers. We call that a deferral date, but that's the date. So let's say I'm just going to pick around numbers. Let's say today's the 10th and the seller has said on the 15th, I'm going to look at offers. A bully offer simply says, look, can we jump the line and give you a better offer, or an offer that's palatable enough to make you want to not wait until the 15th.
So you're saying jump the line, like don't wait for the deadline.
Right.
That strategically, let's say the seller and the realtor have decided to advertise or make known a certain date. We're gonna wait until a certain date to entertain offers.
Right.
So you're saying, hey, your buyer, we don't want to wait until that time. Let's see if we can get an offer in there. So we're not competing.
Yeah.
But it has to be good enough. It has to be convincing enough for someone not to wait till the deferred date.
Right. But the thing is, there's still a competition, because just because you make a bully offer doesn't mean you're going to get it, because in most cases, what the agent acting for the seller should be doing is notifying everybody that's been through the property or is yet to come through the property. We've received a bully offer. If you'd like to write, please do so by such and such a time today.
And I've had that call so many times where it's like, oh, we're waiting till Saturday or Sunday or Monday, whatever the day is. And it's like, oh, we received an offer. You have 2 hours to come up with another. Like that's the deadline for the response for the offer they received.
Right.
Let's say it's 2 hours. And then all of a sudden you're scrambling and seeing if you're going to do something about it or let it go.
Yeah. And so, that's really, in a nutshell, that's what a bully offer is. It's you jumping the line, and when someone writes a bully offer, it has to be good enough for someone to say, okay, we'll consider that, or we'll take that instead of waiting for whatever the offer date is. So, example would be if you write an offer that's at the asking price and there's a deferred offer date, and you say, okay, well, let's submit that as our bully offer. Chances are the other party is going to be like, no.
Right, and there's always a risk, and this would be a conversation with the realtor, the listing agent, and the seller, the homeowner. There's always a risk waiting for the deferred date. Well, what if no offers? What if it changes? Or what if you missed your mark and you're just because you put out a deferred date, doesn't mean you're going to get multiple offers or any offers.
Right.
I know there was a time where there's buyer fatigue out there. And, buyers have written so many offers with their realtors, and then all of a sudden, I don't know how many months went by, and then we're all wondering about at the deferral time, the deadline to bring in offers. We're all calling, is there any offers? Is there any offers? Is there any offers? No, there's no offers. There's no offers. And then offers start coming in like after the deadline, an hour later, 2 hours later, and then it all just sort of happens in multiple offers, just less organized.
Yeah.
So there's still, at different times, there was still motivation to make offers, but buyers were getting fatigued of like this pattern of deferring offers and having to compete.
Yeah. Well, I know for some of my clients, we got to the point where they just said, look, if there's another offer, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Right. If they're doing a deferred offer date, that's great. But if they have 3 offers in hand, we're not we're not interested.
Yeah, there was definitely a segment of buyers out there that I think have been sitting in the wings waiting for all of this to blow over and proceed when they're more comfortable.
Sure.
And then engaging in this multiple offers, no conditions, over the asking price.
Right.
So really now is the time with
Sure.
with a balanced market. It's not 29 offers anymore.
Right.
You might have 29 showings before you get an offer on
Right.
the property,
Sure.
or maybe half of that, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But it's a lot less likely to get into that multiple offer situation.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm still seeing deferred offers. It's the end. Yeah, we're almost at the end of October 2022, and I'm still seeing the odd listing with deferred offers on it.
Wow. Be interesting to know how that actually goes for them. I mean, I guess if it depends what the property is and where it is.
Absolutely.
I suppose there's some rationale based on that. But I'm surprised.
You would have to look at each individual situation, each individual property in the market for that. If it's a high absorption rate or it's a unique property,
Right.
maybe that's a valid strategy still. But
Yeah.
it really depends.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like anything. You have to work specifically with the situation that you're dealing with, and this is why we always talk about why it's so important to have professionals, a realtor representing you as the buyer or the seller, that they can work with you with the situation that you're dealing with right now. So again, like we said, it's a balanced market right now, and people might say, yeah, but that's because of interest rates or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter how we got here. We're still in a balanced market.
Yeah.
So we have to operate within the parameters of that market and take advantage of, because there's, personally, I don't know about what you think, Patrick, but I think this is a great time to buy or sell a home, because you can proceed with just be rational and reasonable.
Some caution.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
I know. I've been waiting for this to all come back to some responsible approach to this, right?
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to tell clients is you're gonna have to do an unconditional offer. You have to take the entire risk of the whole situation up front without knowing or trying to eliminate the surprises from, at least with an inspection, I need the drain tile is gonna do this or that,
sure.
or we had a look in the attic, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And at least you're informed moving forward for whatever the problem is, whatever the situation is, or something that you can plan on. Not this blindfolded approach of if it has problems, I'll deal with it, and I hope there's no problems. I've never been comfortable with that approach.
For
right?
sure.
I don't think I would be able to buy a house unless I was flush with all sorts of money, but that's a whole different story, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the thing I just want to bring up with that and mention about that is that it's not, I hear lots of doom and gloom and naysayers, and it's not, it's a different market, but this is not a bad market, neither for buyer nor seller. It's as we said, a balanced market, where if we have realistic expectations, both as sellers and as buyers, it's still it's still a great market. Victoria is still a great place to live. Vancouver Island is still a great place to live.
Yeah,
and
it's a good time to sell. At the same time, if you need to sell or want to sell, it's still a good time to sell. It's just reflected in, it's going to take longer to sell. It's going to take more people to look at your house. Right, we had a video on getting your house prepared for sale. It's going to take more effort to get to the finish line, to the end zone, to score your touchdown before you can move on. But the thing is, when you sell and then you buy in the same market, you're not in this frenzy re-entering the market where you have to multiple offers. All of that's mostly gone. 90%, 95% of that's not happening anymore.
Right.
So I don't know. I would feel this would be the market that I would want to move in. You have more choice to choose from.
Right.
Even though it's going to take longer for you to sell your house.
Yeah. I would simply say it this way: when's the best time to buy a house? 20 years ago. But barring that, it's right now, because you need a place to live. And, if you have any questions about that, we're happy to help you. Feel free to, you can message us, you can put it in the comments or reach out directly to us, and we're happy to answer any of your questions. We are doing more of the frequently asked questions sessions as we go. So if there's something you want to answer to or you have questions about, feel free to reach out and we'll do our best to answer those questions.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.
Take care.